Yeah, you gotta. What's up, everybody? Welcome to What's the Rub? What's going on, man?
Oh, just packing around some hardware.
Packing some heat.
Yeah.
This thing is, it's heavy. It's heavy. I'm definitely not in my prime wrestling shape that I used to be, but in the barbecue world,
Yeah.
I think we got these. I think we got these in the right order. It just happened to be
I see.
the grand champion belt here.
I think it's been that way a few times. If I remember right, I've kind of not missed you so much.
I mean, I'd definitely say you've had the upper hand more times than I have, but snuck in there a couple times, been able to pick up the big prize.
These things are good and heavy. I know I wish somebody would come take them off our hands here.
Right.
These are the first and second place of trophies for the Hog Days.
Hog Days of Summer. New location.
Yeah.
We're working with here. So Hog Days of Summer, if you have not seen, moved from the lake to the Hard Truth campus here in Nashville, Indiana.
Man, what a move. The lake, and it was a great amicable split. It was just kind of one of those things where we had approached Hard Truth about coming over and maybe doing the drinks for us and being part of the event there.
Right.
And they had some things in the works and they kind of wanted a barbecue contest anyway. And seemed like we had fell on the same weekend because that's a good one for so many reasons. It's almost time to get your kids back to school. It's like the last good summer weekend. So they said, how about we throw $5,000 at it for the teams?
Prize pool.
We got these trophies and we're working up some really cool trophies on this end too. There is so much to do here.
Yeah, there really is. And that's the thing. If you're a competition team, this is definitely one of the events you can bring your family out to. They're going to have a lot of stuff going on. They're talking about potentially having kids. It's supposed to be a full weekend.
Bring the family.
Bring the family. They're going to have potentially a kids section. I know they're talking about live music right now. Yeah. Obviously, all the food that you could ever want to experience between the restaurant. Rumor has it there might be a ticketed private dinner.
Could be
on Friday night.
Could be
in the discussions. But,
this is a first year deal over here, and we're trying to really make sure that it's an experience more than an event. And if you are just hearing about it, bad news for you. If you're a team, we are full, and right now we have 5 teams waitlisted. The concept is going to be, because this is going to be an annual event. I mean, Hard Truth envisions this being like a 5-day festival eventually with guest chefs and demos. So the teams this year, and we're working some logistics. We're hoping that we can stretch that from 20 to maybe 30.
Right.
So there's still hope. We're all still working through this. It's not till July. So
we're 5 months out with a full team list.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a killer sign. And honestly, that's a testament to the history of the event because it wasn't just the move to Hard Truth that helped cap that out. I mean, you were sitting pretty full, pretty close to full before we even released that announcement.
Yeah, at the lake, we were going to cap it at 25, and we were sitting at 17 teams the day we made the announcement, which we filled up in 3 minutes, literally. That's 3 minutes, and then waitlisted 5. I mean, same time.
Right. But that is important. So the team count could open up. Yeah. There is definitely space here at Hard Truth. It's something that we're talking about logistically to make sure that we can get people in and out and that sort of thing, and that it's everything flows well. But if you are interested in competing, definitely still submit your application. Make sure you get on that wait list. My understanding is you're going to go in the order that they come in. If we open some spots up, and there's talk about maybe doing a raffled spot or two as well. So
so kind of the idea is if we're going to fill up this year and we're going to have teams waitlisted, we know that's going to happen. Next year we'll open it up in January, likely again, and we'll run it to maybe say March 1st, hypothetical numbers.
Right.
If you participated this year, you will have first rights to the space next year. Gotcha. If you don't sign on by March 1st, then we're going to move down the list. So there's a big incentive. If we open these spots, you want them, because I can promise you this is going to be the premier event this year.
Right.
And every year moving forward.
Yeah,
this is going to be fun for a long time.
I mean, you think about the space, the campus here, everything there is to do, the prize money that's coming at this event, and this is the first year they're wanting to grow this year after year, make it, potentially a week-long festival at some point down the road.
Yeah.
So,
And there's plenty to do here, even before we get into that. You know,
Right.
Charles and I, you got to kind of watch us because we want to do all kinds of things. But, dude,
right.
this is 323 acres. They've got UTV tours, you got barrel house tours. They will have live music. The amphitheater is insane. It's landscaped with waterfall terrace. I mean, there is literally so much to do here. And just for the weekend,
Right.
you stay anywhere in Little Nashville. You got Brown County State
Right.
Park and 100 craft stores
Absolutely.
downtown. I mean,
that is one thing that I will say. So Hard Truth has not announced the event yet. It is not on their event calendar. Even though this is a tourist area, there's a lot of options for Airbnbs, VRBOs, some hotels. But if you are planning on coming and spending the night, I would go ahead and try to make those reservations now.
Yeah.
Because it's going to fill up. You're talking end of summer. Like you said, kids are getting ready to go back to school the following week. I know Hancock County, I mean, they start that Monday after the event. They're starting early. It's a July start date for school. So now is the time. Make sure that if you're coming and you need a place to stay, start looking for those accommodations now because it will fill up for sure.
Yeah, and the event, see, what we knew was easy was the competition.
Right.
It was near full. You know, by bringing us in to do that, it's plug and play. They have a great series of cask and steel dinners, is what they call it. And they wanted to kind of build on that with this event and other events moving forward. So while it's not up on their official event page, it's just because we're working through so much in the first year. But I'm telling you right now, July 25th and 26th, go ahead and get it circled because you definitely, I promise you're going to want to be here.
Whether you're a team that competes or you just like food in general, I know that we kind of have a background in barbecue, but the restaurant here, man, is really on point, and they've got something for everybody. And it seems to be, I mean, everything I've had has been great. Truffle fries were amazing. Ordered a pretzel today that you could tell was hand rolled in the back, and the thing was huge. Yeah. So everything I've had on the menu in the restaurant, even if you're not a big barbecue fan, you're going to find something for you and your family here without question.
Absolutely. And the environment, the restaurant upstairs is killer. They got a full merch store with a complete bottle selection on the side. Like I said, the patio outside is killer, but they do a lot of fun things. Like they got this moonshiner's cabin out in the back, and it's a whole experience. If you book it, it's for the day. They bring you back, you get back there, guys making you cinnamon rolls over a fire. You make moonshine all day, play cornhole in the woods. He makes you lunch over an open fire.
Which my
very
understanding
cool.
is this is the only place in Indiana that you can legally make moonshine.
Yeah. And legit, we saw it. I mean, this is as Appalachia as Indiana gets.
Actual
cabin in the woods.
Still, you're under,
the still
under a lean-to, essentially, next to the cabin. So it's
with an old still. I mean, it is moonshiner approved. Yeah. And there's so much. They're talking about one-off events, and we've been talking to buddies like James Grubbs. We're hoping to bring James out and do some moonshine back there. So lots of good content probably coming down the pipe too.
Absolutely, for sure. So, that's coming. I know that's a new thing. Other events coming up if you're on the competition circuit at all. Bloomfield, killer event put on by Ryan O'Neill.
May 10th.
May 10th. It's part of their downtown revitalization. They raise funds to help with some of the improvements and stuff in downtown. I know they've got a lot of projects and stuff that they're working on. We're hoping to have Ryan on the show at some point before the event to talk about it a little bit more. But I do know that the event page is up. They've got a link. I can go ahead and throw it up on here as well so that you guys can follow the link there at the bottom, the link tree. It's got an option for a downloadable entry form, and you can also do an online registration as well. But they have spots open for that.
Yeah.
Good prize money at that event as well.
Yeah, I talked to Ryan a little bit on the phone. They went through a title sponsor switch, so he was just kind of waiting to get his purse lined up. But it's a good one.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you what, that event came on the scene and immediately kind of went to one of those top of the list. Do not miss events. Right. It's in a little town square. There's cool shops around it. Ryan fills the whole weekend with great bands. Right. I mean, it's great local music. They got craft vendors on one whole street. They got a car show, People's Choice. This is a very well-ran event for both teams and spectators.
Right. Yeah. And he's always open to feedback. They're looking to add to the event. That was one of the things I remember the first year that they came and wanted to put the event on when they were talking to us. He was like, I want this to be one of your all's top events for the year when we were doing the series. And they came about it the right way. They came out with the right attitude, wanting to put the teams first. Obviously, the event needs to be successful, but Brian understands the importance of making the accommodations for the team, making everybody feel welcome at home, giving everybody something to do with their family and that sort of thing. So,
and he lives 5 blocks away, so dude is right there, and hat tip, man. When he started this, I think that first year he had a kid that weekend, and they just brought their second child in just a short time ago. I don't want to say the exact time, but I know it's been very recent. And that group, that board they've got down there, and Ryan leading the charge, that is a great team, and it shows.
Well, and I'll be honest with you, like, we deal with a lot of event coordinators, and a lot of them come with a board of directors, and everything has to run through a committee, and that's that's part of the process. They have got their stuff streamlined, so anything that comes up can go straight to Ryan, and he has been quick and efficient to get an answer for people if they've got questions about anything that's going on.
100%. Year 4, they're on plug and play, and that's what we love to see.
Those events that come back year after year.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to swell up, but Ryan had been very open and very anxious to learn, and he didn't try to recreate the wheel.
Right.
And that's all we're saying to other organizers. Look what happens when you just stick to the program. Right. This is not a complicated thing, and when you don't overcomplicate it, you get awesome results.
Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, that's his focus has been on the teams and on running a good event. I know that a lot of times you got all this stuff going on, you want to get involved with it, right, and have part of the fun too, especially when you're doing all the work to do the event. And that can be done, but Ryan does it in a way that doesn't step on anybody's toes as far as the teams go, as far as the judges. He makes sure that he puts everything as best he can out front and in the open. And if there are questions, even after the event on scoring and that sort of thing, he's been really easy to work with.
Yeah.
He had no issue. Last year there's something that came up, and I don't even remember, but he sent all the information over to us. We looked at it, we checked it, everything was on the up and up. We didn't see anything on the paperwork. So it's just a good all around event organizer.
Transparent, and that's it. And when how Charles and I really got into it, we've talked about it before, was COVID, and there weren't very many events, and here we're running them, and all we want to do honestly is cook them.
Yeah,
but we never cooked ours because it just is never going to end well. If you're thinking about doing that, there's so many events now. You don't need to cook your own.
Right.
Be transparent. There's just a few things that should be pretty obvious that are going to give you a successful event every year, with teams selling it out in 2 months, maybe.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's it.
So keep your prices reasonable. I know had a guy reach out recently. It's a great concept, great event. It's all backyard, and they wanted $300, and I'm like, I just think you're going to have problems filling your team count for that.
Well, I mean, that's the thing with the backyard teams. They're really looking for budget friendly events. They can go out, they can just have a good time with their family, and have a shot at potentially winning or bringing some money home. But making sure that entry fee reflects the event that they're going to, is important.
You can get 10 teams for $300, or you can get 30 teams for $150. That's basic math.
Yeah. Yeah, especially in this area. I mean, it works out that way. We've got pro teams. I mean, Indiana's got a ton of talent. There's no question. But as everybody knows, there's a huge backyard following in this state. So
and the levels got there. I think if one thing that I can think I'm really proud of is how we all kind of came from this backyard mentality.
Right.
And not only did a few of us have some good success, but we took others with us.
Right.
And those others took others with them.
Yeah.
And I'm just telling you, pound for pound, in central Indiana, southern Indiana, northern Kentucky, there are some cooks that can whoop your butt on any given day. Hog days, dude, hog days list, jump on it.
Stacked field.
Flip a coin. I mean, there's
anybody on that list could leave with a big belt that day.
Yeah, there's killers, there's guys that are dangerous, and there are guys that are lucky. I mean, it's all there. I'm so excited.
Yeah,
July can't get here soon enough,
man. For sure. And I tell you what, I'll put Indiana's backyard talent up against any state.
Yeah.
In this country, like I honestly feel like Indiana gets overlooked on the backyard, on the barbecue side of things in general.
Yeah.
But man, there's some killers in here. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see what this year has got. The event for sure. Here they've been at Bloomfield. I'm excited for that one, kind of kicking the season off. I think that's the first big event we've got on the schedule.
Yeah,
right now.
Ryan on the 10th, and then Hope is going to be right after that on like the 18th, probably.
Which is also
weekend after.
Yeah, that event.
Lot to do.
Been around for a long time. They do it right.
13, 14, maybe 15 years now.
Yeah, another little town. Yeah, it happens on the square.
Same vibe.
Yeah, same deal. And it's a fundraiser for the town. They they sell food and they have a cornhole tournament. They have vendors.
And Jeffrey and Tom and his whole crew. Sorry, ladies. I know there are some ladies there that are very key parts of that, but those guys used to compete. And that's what's good is when you got guys that did compete, they understand both sides of
know
it,
what everybody's looking for.
and they give a home run event. And they do. They cook good food for you all weekend to sell plates of barbecue. That's how they raise the most of their money for that thing. And
I think that's a pretty big fundraiser for the town there.
Yeah, that park. Year. I think it goes back to that park, which is like they got their youth center tied to it. So it's really, that is the hub in Hope. I mean, it's a very small blink and miss it town.
Absolutely.
But they are as close knit as any town that we've worked with. So
well, and what's funny about that, I came to Hope one of the first years that we had the series going, because they ended up being on a point stop on the series, and I came out just to kind of talk to the judges and just oversee everything that first year and kind of just be around and get a feel for the atmosphere and that sort of thing. I didn't realize where it was, so I moved to Greenfield, where I live now, which is just east of Indianapolis, and I was heading maybe back down to Louisville one day, back down to Southern Indiana, and I drove right through Hope and didn't even realize where it was. And I was like, oh crap, like there's the square. That's where we do that event. But it's that easy to miss being a small town deal like that. But the event feels like a big event.
It's like those best small town events too. They've got this little Mexican joint on the corner.
Yeah.
That is a don't miss. If you go to Hope, make sure I don't know the name. I think it's like El Jefe's.
Okay.
Tom and Jeffrey, if you guys see it, put it in the comments. Tell El Jefe to get ready because he might get a little bit busy this year.
Definitely. So what else we got going on? I know we've got some new rubs sitting here on the table.
Yeah, new partnership for us this year, LC Barbecue, another member of Royal Oak family. We started having a lot of people, we use some other Royal Oak products, and it just seemed natural to kind of start phasing into some LC stuff. And I'll tell you what, man, my calls started picking up when these became part of the program. I think, something that I might not use you could 100% back when brisket had the black bark, and it probably still does a lot in Texas. But now with that mahogany, this might be a little dark. But I was telling Tony and Charles before we got on the air, fade to black. That right there, I had some boiled eggs last night and was just putting it on that, and it's like a symphony of savory. I mean, onion notes. It's almost like bouillon-y, like it says beef, but I'm telling you, burgers, chicken. I can put this on ribs at the house. I ain't joking, man. A++ for me on the fade to black, but I've yet to really stumble on much that I don't care for that he's got.
And I haven't had a chance to use it yet, but I got a pinch out of that bottle, and man, packing flavor in there without question. I mean, it is so many notes. Very savory for sure. We looked at their last call. This is a newer one they've got that they've released also. Intended to be I think a little bit from a competition side, more of a finish.
I do use that one specifically. I use it on a couple things, and there's I even modify it just a little bit and blend it at times. But I mean, in the brisket program, that's been a great one. It's really pepper forward, just like you would expect from that big bold Texas flavor. Our buddy LC, Philip Breeden and Carmen. Hey guys, they're down in Texas. Yeah, but dude, they win with these rubs. They've been to Australia. They've been to Oregon. Pull up, put LC on your meat, and you're probably getting a call. That's just.
Without question.
Maybe a last call.
Jump on their website. I just put the link down at the bottom of the video. I will tell you, too, one of the things that I can appreciate about this, when you flip this over and you're looking at ingredients, the first ingredient is not salt.
Yeah.
which I can appreciate for this. Now it is on the fade to black, which is, designed to be a beef rub. So that makes sense. I like the fact that this is not super salt heavy. Now it does have salt in it. It's not salt free. It's not sodium free, but it's not the first ingredient, because everybody knows it's really easy when you end up with, a finishing rub to get a little over salty. If you're not careful
at that point in the cook.
Right.
And to be fair, that's exactly last call is one of my last applications. It's in that finishing bit. It's just, I really feel like he's staying true to that on all these. I mean, we've tried them all today. The rawhide, man, that one's killer. It's still got those savory, peppery, but it's got butter notes.
Right.
So he's staying true to that Texas style. He's got one called Hill Country.
Sure. Right.
And I mean, that is just hit the trail, bro. You could put that on anything open fire, and it's going to be open fire.
Yeah, for sure. And it's, it's gluten free. It's a good base rub. So if you've got somebody that's got gluten allergies, you can definitely use this.
Carnivore diet approved from this guy. That may not get the hardcore guys, but dude, that stuff, no carbs, no sugar. So, I mean, it's going to fit right in. That's been one of the things for me and this carnivore lifestyle that I've been on. Flavor is the most important thing to me. Yeah. So these variety of his rubs, he's got killer injections and marinades too. I mean, I think his line is about 13 of those things.
It's a one-stop shop. They have anything that you could need, whether you're cooking competition barbecue, backyard, you're just cooking at home, friends, family, cooking out this summer. They've got something for everybody. Jump on their website, lcbarbecueshop.com. Let them know we sent you. Put it in the comments. It's on the order form. You can put it on there. Tell them you heard about it on What's the Rub.
Killer swag too. He's got some of the best swag in the game.
For sure. And that's quality stuff too. Their hats and stuff. You know how particular we are on hats.
Richardson 112, baby.
They do it right. Do it right. I've got a big head, so that's the only thing that fits me, man. Is the big head hats.
Man, and them Richardsons, I've seen it from guys that I know. My buddies notoriously exact opposite. They feel like they got maybe a smaller.
Yeah.
Dude, those Richardsons stay nice and clean every time. It's usually about a $30 hat, but if you're a hat guy,
if you wear it, it's worth it.
Yeah, his stuff's tough too. So go support those guys. They're a great family. It's not just some big company. I mean, they are grassroots, small family, right out of Texas. Yeah.
And as nice as anybody. I mean, walk 100%. Right up to them, start a conversation. They're willing to share, willing to talk to you, give you advice, pointers.
Yeah. Hey, and Philip and Uncle Bill Purvis, they've got a really good show too. So make sure you watch that show to catch episodes with those guys and support them both.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure. So what else? We were talking about the diet thing, and that's one of the things that I can appreciate about LC's lineup is, like I said, they've got a little bit of everything. So we're both on opposite ends of a little bit of a weight loss journey that we brought up maybe once or twice. We haven't dove into it yet a little bit. Much. So Dave opted to go carnivore diet.
Yeah,
it's what fit his lifestyle. I actually went the opposite, which sounds weird from a guy that was competing competitively in barbecue. Yeah. I went the vegetarian route.
Yeah.
Right. And for me, it was convenience. Right. I was traveling a lot for work. I was stopping for fast food constantly. And there's not a whole lot of vegetarian options when you get into the fast food world. So it really just limited to me on where I could stop and get food.
And that challenges that culinary side of you.
Absolutely.
We always joke, when you go to a barbecue competition, the last thing you want them to serve you for dinner is maybe some barbecue, because that's what we all have all the time. So I think maybe that was just your inner voice saying, I want that salad.
Yeah. Well, and it did challenge me from a cook standpoint, right? We lean so heavily on the proteins in our dishes that a lot of times everything is kind of secondary to that, right? So highlighting these ingredients that for me anyhow weren't the main show in the dishes has really challenged me and pushed me outside of my comfort zone. So I can appreciate a line like LC's got, because they've got something that will work on just about everything, and it plays into those traditional barbecue notes that I was so used to, and just really kind of elevates some of the dishes that I've been making at home.
Yeah, talk about a challenge, man. I mean, I get it. Yeah, I got the easier end. I mean, for me, I was dropping. So, and I know I've got some really good dietitian friends, and they are so worried about me, and I just feel great. So right now, I think it's better now than it was when I was cramming pizzas and pies.
Right.
You know, I mean, nobody was telling me how bad I was then.
Right.
But what I'll say is, it was pretty challenging to look at such a restrictive group of food
Sure.
and try to figure out how I was going to make this a thing that didn't
Right.
burn me out.
Yeah,
And
I mean, you can only eat eggs or bacon so many days in a row.
cheese.
You know, it sounds amazing. Everybody talks about, oh,
Yeah.
I wish I could have bacon every day. I love it, but
Yeah.
you try that. Like,
Yeah.
try it out, man,
Yeah.
and it will change your mind to like, man, I don't want to do it anymore. And it's like that with everything. You know, I
Yeah.
do the same thing on my end. You know, there's some go-to dishes that I go to, but it's helped me explore some stuff. You know, I've tried a lot more different types of ramen, for example.
Oh,
legit,
yeah.
not
Yeah.
your
Not the instant.
yeah, not the instant, but
You
some
can
of
church
the
that up.
yeah,
still.
you can. And honestly, there are some good if you get into some of the go to the foreign food aisle at Walmart, and there are always some good Asian brands of instant ramen in there. There's a vegetable one, man, that I've got right now. It doesn't say anything about being spicy.
Really?
And I love spicy food, and it will light me up. And it's not their spicy blend, but it's
Nice.
really good. I mean,
Yeah.
it's a really solid deal. So I think just, you know, with any diet, it's just a matter of finding something that's convenient for your lifestyle, because if you make it hard, it's going to be hard.
And that's kind of it. I mean, the carnivore thing, if it's got these levels, I mean,
Right.
there's keto and then there's carnivore, and the
Sure.
strict, you know, it's a lot. And if you're trying to lose weight, or if you're not trying to lose weight, like for me losing weight,
Right.
it's going to be less dairy,
Sure.
not moving out. Like milk is bad. I mean, milk
Right.
is, and I love milk. That's something I think some people either do or
Me
you
too.
don't, man.
Yeah.
So much sugar and carbs in milk. I
Right.
was just crushed.
Right.
So it's like a treat for me. I still drink it. But it's other things, getting on this diet, finding out what's working, and then figuring out how to supplement what's not there. So I don't
Exactly.
go as hard in like that, you know, I have to be carnivore or nothing.
Right.
But I, you know, for example, like I don't like to eat organs, but it's one of the things that if you're doing this, that's how you're getting good nutrients.
Right.
So like I take capsules.
Yeah.
A couple capsules of beef liver. And dude, that's really packing in. I use I've talked about it before with you, the She Legit resin.
Yep.
I don't have a TikTok shop, so this ain't a plug, but that stuff, man, inflammation wise, energy wise, and what it is a high dose of fulvic acid.
Mm-hmm.
And that helps you absorb nutrients on your cellular level.
Right.
So when you bring in your other supplements and good, you know, clean foods,
Right.
you're really getting a lot out of that nutritionally.
Yeah.
So I'm not struggling. I feel better than I have,
Sure.
you know, in the last decade.
Right.
So I'm hyped. I'm in this thing
Yeah.
to see if I can kill 130 pounds by July.
That's awesome.
Right now I'm off the pace, but it's good. I've been, you know, and that's it, dude. I lost almost 80 pounds now. And it's lighter than I was when I started Great White Smoke. So
Right.
we make these trips over to Hard Truth.
Right.
You know, I'm getting in them pork nachos a little bit. And the best part about it is I've done it for some weeks now, and there's
Right.
nothing that makes me feel like I'm going off the rails.
Right.
I feel so much more in control of that. I'll just say it, man. I'd be borderline if you're a cook like we are and you do it competitively.
Mm-hmm.
To say that food addiction isn't in the conversation for
It has to be.
me
Yeah.
personally, because it wasn't about just eating to fuel my body. It was
Right.
about creativity and pushing my boundaries and just cooking to be cooking,
Right.
to try to get
Well,
better. But
especially when your culinary background starts in competition, you're
Yeah.
always trying to get that perfect bite, right?
Yeah.
You're always looking for that one bite that's hits all the notes, you know. And so I think we train ourselves unintentionally to throw a lot more seasoning at stuff, because I mean that's what we're doing in competition, right? The judges get a bite, maybe two. If they really like it, they go back for that second bite. But you're trying to get all that flavor, you know, into one hit.
bite.
So it's hard to not do that in your day-to-day personal life. So you just end up by attrition eating things with a lot more salt, a lot more sugar. You know, it's in everything because of how we cook, and you know, and that's the thing too. Like on my side of it with the vegetables, like I see the same thing, right? Like there are days. So I've got a little bit of a benefit. Maybe without getting into the details of this, maybe you're experiencing this too. But like if I slip up and I eat something that's not on my diet at this point. I've been doing it long enough that it upsets my stomach.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right. So I have to be like real careful. It's just a bite or two if I'm going to try something. But I also know that, that protein intake is important, just like anything else. So I do the same thing. It's a supplement. It's a shake here or there. Or sometimes in the morning, I'll throw a little protein powder in a smoothie, on my way out the door or something. But it's just, if you're going down the weight loss journey, and I am by no means an expert in this is just my personal experience talking, but make it easy for yourself. Right. Yeah. I think that's why a lot of diets fail is because they're inconvenient.
Yeah.
And it makes it hard to break that habit.
Or they're not sustainable for you. And that's the bottom line, is sustainable for you. And
you got to do what works for you.
Right? Yeah. It's same thing. For me, weight loss was why I started. I got to a point where I said, I am over it. Like, I want to go the other way.
Yep.
Few things that I started doing really killed the inflammation in my body. I've got some really bad disc in my lower back that I just live with because I don't want to have any kind of surgery. But I'm telling you, the inflammation has went down tenfold for that. Yeah. And I think that helps me stay on track more than any of the others.
Right.
So. But yeah, we could go on about that for 2 days.
No, for sure. And maybe we end up with an episode dedicated just to those conversations. So as we branch out and get into some new things, but yeah, man, we're at the 31-minute mark. So follow us. I know we do this every time. We're trying to build out our YouTube channel. Jump on YouTube if you don't mind. If you're not following us on YouTube already, I'm going to put that link down there at the bottom. WTR Pod on YouTube. Follow, hit that bell so you get announcements when we're releasing new shows. We're excited to be partnering with Hard Truth for the event this year. We're definitely going to have some more information coming to you guys as it develops here. But like I said, if you're a competition team, get on the list. That way, if spots open up, or if we end up having the ability to do a raffle, you've still got a shot. And also, it'll get you in for next year if you're on the list. Like Dave said, it's kind of go in that order. So,
I'll just throw it out there. We will have a few judging opportunities, probably, absolutely. And I always suggest teams do that. There's usually a wait list for the judges too, but get your name in the hat. That's the only way we can guarantee. And if not, just come over and enjoy the facility for the weekend, man. You'll be glad you did.
Yeah, hang out with us. We're going to be shooting live streams and stuff throughout the day, Friday and Saturday at the event. So even if it's not something that you're into cooking, come hang out with us, say hello, meet the team, that sort of thing. It's going to be a good time, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to everything this year. Really.
It's a blast. Just ready for the cold to be over, and let's get this trail moving, because we all know how much fun that is.
That's right. Well, until next time.
Yep. Right. We'll see you. Get the smoke going. As always, don't forget to post up in the comments and on the barbecue syndicate. Let us see what you got cooking at the house.
Be sure to share. We post in the groups. We post on the Facebook page. Share the link for us. Get the word out there. The more you share, the more you like, the more the distribution is, the better it is for everybody. And we can keep doing these, right? Because it's not, at the end of the day, it's not free.
No.
So we do
but it is fun. So
it is fun, right? So we do it because we can and we like to. So yeah, man. Cool.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the weight loss. It's a big deal, man.
You too, buddy. Right there.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
You guys want to know more about that? Reach out. Yeah. I mean, we got you.
Yep. Send us a friend request. Send us a message. We'll help you any way we can, for sure. So,
all right.
With that,
catch you.